sites and activities, and we also have industrial visits. It is very important that you register yourself as a delegate. It's very important that you get the tag that can give you a pass to participate in all this. And so I want to assure everyone, and especially those who are following us online, that the council has prepared a great convention. I want to invite each and every one of us, if you are yet to be excited about this convention, that you're going to be excited and participate. This is a convention that every stakeholder in infrastructure industry must find a place and participate. And so it's my pleasure to invite each and everyone to this great convention starting 14th to 17th next week in Shanzu. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Sharma. I'm reminded I did not introduce myself. So my name is Engineer Grace Muthoni Kagondu. I'm honored to be serving as the first Vice President of this great institution, the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. And I'll be your MC for this media launch. Now, moving on swiftly, I would like to invite Engineer Patrick Wamburwa, who is the chairman of the Association of Consulting Engineers of Kenya. Engineer Patrick Wamburwa is a consulting engineer and is also a fellow of the member of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya. Karibu sana, engineer.
Thank you, Engineer Grace. Good morning.
Good morning.
Our chief guest this morning, Engineer Joseph Mbugwa, the PS Roads, Chairman EPK, Engineer Erastus Mwongera, who is also the chairman of the IEK 30th International Convention, the IEK President, Engineer Eric Ohaga, IEK Council, Engineer Grace and other council members, EBK board members, EBK Registrar Engineer Margaret Oga, KPL MD, we are distinguished engineers, good morning. It gives a great IEK 30th IEK because you before of IEK from household does not diminish your clan being the same clan. I would also like AAK President Engineer Aki Nyole, sorry to this. I would also for supporting ASEC during our second ASEC conference that last month in Eldoret. Our chief guest sent an able representative to that conference and ASEC ASEC established in 1972, but of course through IEK. ASEC was only holding a second conference this year, and IEK is holding. So younger people can outgrow or can perform better than older people. But never, we are happy because of what IEK is doing. I thank you for that. I would like to also just talk a little about ASEC. I've already said it started in 1968. ASEC is part of FIDIC, International Federation of Consulting Engineers, and we are privileged that the president is from vice presidents. One is from Europe, and Africa comes from Kenya, who is in the room, Engineer James Mwangi. Of course, we also know that through engineering, the World Federation of Consulting Engineers, he is, what post is he holding? He is a board member. So the African engineers are pushing on the international scene so that we are part of the world. FIDIC is also a member of FIDIC Africa, which is the consulting associations on the African continent. We are a member of KEPSA, participating in discussions, the national government and the East African community and the other regional blocs, COMESA, and also the African Free Continental Trade Area up to the World Trade Organization. So this we do through KEPSA. And we engage in the built environment through the Joint and Construction Council, and there we engage with the Architectural Association, the QSS, and all people who are participating in the built environment. So ASEC is active in participating in developing the infrastructure industry, better society. When we, the theme of this conference that is coming next week, talking about engineering a new world. And I would just like to say what is a new world. The one we are having. In a way, yes, because it's peaceful. We will need to be led by knowledge. So what is called knowledge, it will call for of innovation, research, so that we have a good use of our resources and we build a resilient and a more peaceful and Engineer Kitema mentioned that the first conference touched on peace, and therefore in the current world you have Russia, Ukraine war, Gaza, Israel, and other conflicts, and at the bottom of this they relate to people fearing for their future, and therefore I have to hit my neighbor. These problems can be solved when engineers release their minds to create a more equitable world by using technology and engineering. So we look forward to the conference. See grace coming, but that
leave us. Moving the working sector. Representative Engineers Board of Kenya. Welcome her with a round of applause. Engineer.
Thank you so much, Engineer Kagon. our first VP of IEK, to our guests, for Roads and Transport, represented. Thank you very much for joining us today. To the President of IEK and the Chairman of EBK, allow me to stop there because I can see these minutes are very few, and I'm anxious that we have started. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I have also asked that you clear me on all protocols. Allow me, after I finish, I'll give very few remarks. Mine is to congratulate the IEK, this 30th conference. EBK is a critical partner. We have the Jerry magazine. Oh no, it's a Kenya magazine. We are members for registration are getting by IEK. We have the I think infrastructure report card, which we are to the, and of course now the very critical, and in I think the whole of engineering and industry to a great successful conference, and we can assure you we shall continue to complement what IEK does, because our regulatory function is not complete until we have IEK, strong IEK. Remarks. Let me invite Architect Nole to make one comment, and then we shall proceed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Gary. Allow me to ride on your protocols in regards to time, and thank you very much, IEK, ASEC, and everyone else for having us here. Florence Nyole is my name, President of AEK, but in AEK we also have the engineers chapter. I think the secretary is here. We're represented. We started in 1967. I can assure you engineers are there. Mine is just to congratulate IEK. We will be there. We will be present. We want to work together. You can only engineer a new world when architects are present, and engineers and everybody else in the built environment. So thank you, and we look forward to engaging together during your convention and working together to engineer a new world. Asante.
Thank you so much, my president from the other side, because I'm also a member of AEK, so I have two presidents in the room. I'm very honored today. Okay, so moving on, I would like to, the program says we have got appreciation of our sponsors, represented by Engineer Rosemary Oduor, Managing Director, representing the Managing Director of Kenya Power. Is she in the room? Okay, fantastic. Engineer Rosemary, karibu sana for your remarks.
Thank you, Engineer. Our guest this morning, Engineer Joseph Mbugua, PS, State Department of Roads, Ministry of Roads and Transport, the Chair of EBK, Engineer Erastus Mwongera, the President IEK, Engineer Eric Ohaga, together with council members present, and taking the cue from the previous speakers, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I stand here on behalf of the MD and CEO of Kenya Power, Engineer Dr. Joseph Siror, who sends you his regards. Do you receive them?
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Engineer Rosemary Oduor. I work at Kenya Power and Lighting Company, and I was more than delighted when I was asked to represent the MD at this function. IEK runs in my DNA. This morning, as I was driving here, there was a talk on radio about a man doubting his child and demanding a DNA test. And I just thought that if IEK one day doubts its children and demands DNA tests, mine will be found compliant. I am indeed delighted to be here today as we gear for the 30th IEK International Convention. I wish to thank IEK on convening this very important event that will come next week. Engineers play a crucial role in the social, economic development of our nation because they plan, they design, and they oversee construction and maintenance of buildings, structures, infrastructure, such as roads, railways, and even the energy infrastructure. And the contribution of engineers to the betterment of humanity has seen the industry grow tremendously. I'm told 11,000 members, which is no mean feat. In light with what the previous speakers have spoken of their ages, Kenya Power is now 102 years old, having begun operations in 1922. We have a big complement of engineers, and that is why our connection to IEK is one that is irreversible. It runs in DNA. Today we have more than 700 engineers who derive a lot of support from IEK in the day-to-day operations and in their growth as engineers. We are across the country, and therefore we touch lives across the country, and our connection with IEK is very, very critical. When we have challenges, IEK has come up very well to support us. When we need support in terms of our career growth, in terms of strengthening us, present papers in the engineering field, to be able to collaborate with other engineers, IEK has been there for us, and we really do thank you, Mr. President, and your team. We are this relationship. We are not just giving. We have come as one of the partners that will be partnering with IEK in this convention, and so together, partners, we want to thank you, IEK, putting convention, look for learnings, cross learnings, to supporting one another. We look forward to growing the engineering in Kenya. We can indeed impact the Kenya and beyond. May I mention Kenya Power strength led a connectivity rate that is the highest in the world today. Many countries are coming to Kenya to benchmark on how we have connected our folk in the urban centers, in the rural areas, and how this has spurred economic growth and the growth of engineering in the nation. And therefore, we do not take lightly our positioning in IEK as partners, that we may grow the engineering fraternity better and better as the world changes. Now, even the rural lady requires to have a mobile phone to be able to transact. The farmers are now working on apps which require energy for them to be able to do what they need to do. And therefore, indeed, the theme for this year stands very well in our desire and aspiration as co-sponsors. And we are indeed very glad to be here this morning to experience this very, very great occasion as we inaugurate the IEK convention that is coming ahead. I have with me one of my colleagues, Dr. Engineer Peter Kimemia, who is a very strong DNA member. And allow me, Chief Guest, we have a small token to IEK to conclude my speech. May I ask the co-chair please to come as we all token for Kenya Power.
Engineer Rastus Mongera, the chair of IEK Convention Steering Committee, our president. Please be upstanding as we receive this amazing contribution from Kenya Power. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Indeed, we are delighted to be co-sponsors of this convention. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think our chief guest, Joseph Mbugua, evidence that Kenya Power is a strong supporter of IEK, than it right here. So thank you so much, Engineer Oduor. I know it's going to be with us. You're going to be with us the rest of the for life. Yes. because it's in our DNA. And we are joined in the DNA. Yes, so we really, really appreciate. Please pass our appreciation to the MD. We are extremely grateful, and actually we can feel his presence in the room, and we are really very appreciative. Okay. Moving on to another very, very, very strong partner of IEK. I don't know which words I can use to describe the partnership we have with the National Construction Authority, but it has also been running for many, many, many years. And when you say IEK and we look around for our brothers and sisters, another DNA member, I can assure you, NCA is always around the corner. So actually this morning I didn't see him at the beginning, but when I turned around, indeed, he was just behind me. So it is my very, very big privilege to welcome the Managing Director of National Construction Authority, Engineer Maurice Oketch. He has a few remarks. Karibu sana, Engineer.
To our chief guest, PS Roads, Engineer Mbugwa, and of course, you know what I'm going to say next. Riding on the other protocols already established for the sake of time. My name is Engineer Maurice Oketch. Let me first of all take this opportunity to appreciate IEK. Institution of Engineers is indeed a very strong partner. As you are aware, National Construction Authority has the mandate to oversee the construction industry and coordinate its development. And one thing I want to tell you is that without engineering, there is no construction. I know, of course, the president of IEK is here, but of course, I also want to assure her that once they put it on paper, it has to be put in space by the engineers. So we are still connected. So should not be afraid of that. Second, I want to say that in our requirements for registration of contractors, as you are aware, one of the for you to register a contractor, especially in certain classes, you must be an engineer. Especially if you are doing roads, dams, or water, that is, even buildings. So to be an engineer already puts you in space to become a contractor, subject to qualification requirements. So we work very closely. And I also want to assure you, just like our colleague from Kenya Power said, even within our establishment, there are certain posts that for you to have, you must be an engineer. For instance, we have a number of compliance officers across the country. We call them officers, but they're engineers, of course. Because you know, some of them are also architects, some of them are also QSs, those who have interacted with the construction space. So in our establishment, I boast of over 60 engineers. Of course, some of them are graduates. But of course, the purpose of this EK, which we really appreciate, is that how can we convert some of those graduate engineers to transit from graduate to professional? And that will be my actually aim, even as we go for IEK conference. I have undertaken to sponsor all of them, so that they can also grow in the profession to become like some of us. Of course, the professional engineers is about 15 days dwindling, but I want to grow it in the next few years, that's 60 to be converted. And of course, every time we keep onboarding as well. We also have architect, Madam Madam Manyole, so we should not be afraid. Lastly, I want to say that we've also worked very closely with now the regulator of engineers, that is EBK, and I'm happy that in this convention, EBK is always a partner of IEK, and we always work together. For your information, as the governance structure of NCA, one of the board members is a nominee of IEK. So to that extent, as Kenya Power has the of IEK is in the DNA of IEK, as in the board we have IEK. So the decisions are made, and IEK is involved. That's how close we are. So we cannot run away from that. To that extent, we are looking forward to the event next week in Mombasa. Let's see each other there, and let's keep learning. I am very, very happy that 30 years down the line, we have been doing this every year. It is not easy to plan an event for information. So IEK need to give itself an applause, an appreciation, 30 years down the line, without missing a year. It is not easy. So we support you, and we continue working together. Thank you very much. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much, Engineer Morris, and thank you for your partnership. And let us continue together. I would like to invite a representative from NUPEA for just 1 minute. I want to squeeze you on the program in recognition of your time. Mr. Bassett Boyuka, karibu sana.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'll not ride on a catch protocol. I know the President is here, the PS is here, and others. It gives me pleasure this morning to represent the CEO of NUPEA, Nuclear Power and Energy Agency. And I think Engineer Rosemary, who was here before, said Kenya Power is 100 and something centurions. I think we are at the other end of that scale because this is our 13th year. So, and actually our umbilical cord was with Kenya Power, and then we've gone solo, and now we are growing. And Kenya Power, watch out, we're coming. So eventually we'll be a giant like that. And I think we're delighted. I think NUPEA previously was Kenya Nuclear Electricity. And I think we've engaged a lot with the IEK, with the EBK, and also with ASEC, which Engineer Mbulu has spoken very eloquently about. And we look forward to doing so in the future. Engineers are a centerpiece. I know I've been given half a minute. We know how to use minutes, so. Engineers are a centerpiece of what we do, because we are looking to set up a nuclear power program in this country. And when people think of nuclear, what do you think of? Allah. We want to use it for power generation, and it's got many uses at the moment in the country, because we use it in various sectors: industry, medicine, health, agriculture, and we want to use it for power generation. And critical as well, we are looking to have a research reactor much sooner, by 2027, 2028, thereabouts. And this will be used for medical isotopes. It will also be used for research, and so it will help a lot in what this country needs to do. For all that, we need engineers on board. Okay? And also for the nuclear power program due in 2034, we'll need a lot of engineers to be part of that undertaking, among many other professionals, because it's a vast and tremendous undertaking. But we are happy to be here. We are happy to be one of the sponsors. We are a sponsor, by the way. Were you told? Yes, so we're delighted, and we look forward to working with IEK now and into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for those remarks. I also appreciate the sponsorship that we have in NUPEA. That is from NUPEA, and we do take it, we really given us a wonderful president who has been us all this time.
Two presidents.
Two presidents. Oh yes, Mr. Collins Juma. Thank you indeed. So you can see NUPEA is really catching up very well. Now let me just, I want to take this opportunity because I've seen you sitting next to Engineer Mbogwa, Engineer James Mwangi. So let me just mention that Engineer James Mwangi actually is representing the chair of the KEPSA, where Engineer Mr. Jazz Bedi, and he has sent us his regards. We have received them very well, and we really appreciate. Engineer James Mwangi, of course, is a director at KEPSA, and we are really going to have a lot of engineers also representing us at KEPSA. So thank you very much, Engineer, for enabling us to be part of KEPSA. Private sector has really supported IEK, and they are going to come in a big way in the 30th IEK convention. We really appreciate that. I can tell you, you can see what is coming up in the 30th IEK convention. You don't want to miss it. If you have not registered, please, this is the time to register, and please fast, because the slots are moving very, very fast. I think you can confirm. I don't know whether we still have any slots left. Yeah. You need to. At juncture, it is my real privilege and pleasure to now move on to our next presenter, the chairman of Engineers Board of Kenya, Engineer Rastas Mongera. Tafadhali, we want to hear your wisdom, we want to listen to you. Welcome. Karibu sana.
Thank you, our very able MC. And already commented there that you have really in this role. Our chief guest, our cabinet secretary, represented by our PS, Engineer Joseph Bogua, the president of IK, who is our chief host today, the chairman of ASEC, the vice president of FINDIC, CEOs present. We have and we have Engineer Rose representing CEO Power, the president of the Association of of committee member of the Convention Organizing Committee, board members of MBK. I take cognizance of Engineer Johnson Matu, who chairs the Registration, Capacity Building and the Compliance Committee of the board. Very, very important committee because you need to pass through exams to transit from one class to another. It's a transition, graduate to profession, from professional to consulting, from consulting to accredited checkers, from accredited checkers to a consulting firm, to a foreign engineer. All those fall under science. So thank you, Johnson, for good work you are doing. And our able stakeholders who have not mentioned, including NPEA, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. God is good all the time. And all the time, and that is his nature. Sometimes those who know him and are happy because of the great observation find it very difficult to keep away from giving testimony, because it says in Matthew 5:23, not to light a lamp and put it under the table, but put it on the stool so that they can light the whole room, and to be the salt of the world. You can only do that if you believe in what you are doing, and giving testimony is part of that. Thank you, Engineer Duo, for reminding us of DNA. In fact, you have reminded me, young people might not recollect this. During the good old days, when a MP, you say, I'm Kanundamu. If you cut my blood, take it, probably the result will be Kanu. So we are very happy also in this area of professional to find us being IEK in Damu, and very grateful for what you are doing for that. Our chief guest allowed me to complete what Engineer Wamburo has started on recognition of our very able engineers who have learned or are leading the international arena. Of course, we have Engineer Mwangi, and the Vice President of FINIC. Engineer Matalanga is not with us here today, but is the treasurer of the World Council of Civil Engineers. And they will be partnering with us in the convention this year. They are coming. In fact, we are so honored because they have their annual general meeting in Mombasa while we are having this convention. Active member of the World Federation of Engineering Organization, and he was elected last October. Our chief guest, Kenya got the highest number of votes. And for that reason, Engineer Matalanga was for, while others up for 2 because of getting the highest number of years. And again, chief guest, we appreciate you and thank you because last year, even as you are entering in the office, you sent us to Paris to go in lobbying for MBK, the affiliate member of the World Federation of Engineering Organization. We were there with the president and the registrar and Professor Abuada. And because of getting that seat, Kenya has 2 votes when it comes to voting. So it was a great honor. If you said, no, let me settle down first, we would have missed that chance. So thank you for believing in us. Thank you for believing in the story we told you, allowing us to go and do that. We also have with us here, our president is executive board member of the Federation of African Engineering Organizations. He is not in the room, but Engineer Collins Njuma, former president, is the president of the East Africa Engineering Federation of East Africa Engineering Organizations. So it's also a feather we carry in the arena. And those who have served before, we have Engineer Ada Ogwayo, who was the first president of the Federation of Engineering Organizations of Africa. And then Engineer Julius Riongo, who then later became the president. So our chief guest, you can see Kenya is quite prominent in the global arena. I hope as time goes on, with of these institutions, FEDEC and WFEO, World Council of Civil Engineers, we shall have all these presidents and have 5 of them at the same time. That is our prayer, and we believe in God to answer the prayer. Having said that, and by the way, I went through the whole protocol because of what I do. You have heard I chair the committee on the convention, and we are about to deliver the convention next week. I didn't want a revote in the boardroom when we have the next meeting, and they pass a vote of no confidence because I did not recognize them. Allow me for that. And this reminds me, when we were growing up, we didn't have tapped water you people have today. We used to go and fetch water 10, 20 kilometers from a protected spring because the public health then was insisting on draw water from springs. And then you go with that foundation on guard. You know, it has no years, nothing. You're just holding it on the side. You walk 10 kilometers. When you come to the homestay and you remain with those timber planks, when you want to put the nguan down and open the gate, I don't know what used to happen. The legs shake, you lose balance, and the nguan goes down, it breaks, and then your mom comes out. Now she doesn't see the work done. She sees the value of the nguan, and then you start receiving the beating. So you understand with that background, you excuse me that I have to go through the protocol. It is with great honor and pleasure to join you this morning for the 30th IEK International Convention Media Launch. The convention is a major activity in the engineering calendar that brings together various stakeholders in engineering education, training, and practice. Engineers Board of Kenya is delighted to be partnering with IEK for this year's annual convention. This year theme, Engineering a New World, resonates deeply with our intent, committed to supporting and processing international agreements focused on engineering mobility, ultimately contributing to the development of engineering on the global arena. We note with appreciation the process made since last year's convention. Through our partnership, we have jointly worked together to implement last year's resolutions, among them being the nurturing and mentoring young engineers and women engineers by providing platform for professional development and working opportunities. As MBK, we are actively involved in supporting and promoting the professional growth and the development of engineers in the country, having understanding that our engineering profession is crucial for the progress of Kenya through the implementation of the bottom-up economic transformation. We are also delighted to see that this year's convention weaves in with Kenya's progressive on bottom-up economic transformation agenda, has made tremendous progress since the last convention. This includes over 30 engineering programs that we have accredited in various universities. Over 400 professional engineers have been registered. This is a much improvement from the 350 last year. The board has launched engineering project registration photo and visited various sites to enhance compliance and draft a strategic plan aligned with the government and development agenda. I therefore wish to express as MBK as received. We look forward to actively participate in the discussions on the innovation and collaboration towards sustainable and affordable housing, improved infrastructure, transportation systems, and access to the finance for engineering projects among the high-level conventions that will be taking place. We extend our warm invitation to all our members and colleagues to attend this convention. It's not just about staying professionally relevant, it's about networking and engaging in the discussion that will help us seize the opportunities presented by the changing landscape. Let's meet up, network, and explore how engineers can make full advantage of these opportunities to elevate our profession to even greater heights. I am therefore delighted to invite you all to the 30th IEK International Convention that will provide a platform for dialogue on the crucial role of engineers in the transforming economies. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you and ask you to join me now in inviting the President of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, Engineer Eric Wahava, to speak and invite our speaker.
Okay. Our chief guest, Engineer Joseph Mbugua, who is the PS in charge of roads, the President of AAK, Architect Florence Nyole, EBK Chair, Engineer Restas Mongera, of course the CEO and Registrar of EBK, Engineer Margaret Ogai, the council members of IEK present here today, and I also don't want to risk a vote of no confidence in my council. Normally it's a tradition that I do appreciate my council, and I just want to take 1 minute for them to stand up so you can know. Thank you so much. The first VP is here, Engineer Grace. The second VP, Engineer, you can see a powerful lady. Chief Engineer and Kilatia, the future. Thank you, cover your section. I also want to appreciate the chair of ASEC, Engineer Patrick Wambulwa. Board members of EBK present here, Engineer Matu. Members of the Fourth Estate. The various DGs present here, I can see Engineer Ketch here. And also, I also don't want to lose my job when I go back to Nupair. Bassett Buyuka representing the CEO, so please feel appreciated when you go back, tell him you are really appreciated. I greet you all, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me take this opportunity to commend all of us, first of all, for accepting this invitation to congregate here today as we have this media launch in planning for our next week event. IEK, of course, in collaboration with EBK, is organizing the 30th IEK Annual International Convention, and the theme is Engineering a New World. And this will be held between the 14th and the 17th November 2023 in Shanzu, Mombasa. This year is very unique because we are going to have the 6th Women Engineers Summit, and this is themed Beyond Excellence, the future of women in engineering. And I think looking at that program is one summit that we will not want to miss, and I want to encourage all of us, including men, to be able to attend that particular summit. We're also happy that we are going to have our 2nd Future Leaders Summit, and the theme of this Future Leaders Summit is fostering positive impact, and this is for sustainability of our people. This, again, will be held on the same day, running parallel with the women. So therefore, this year's convention is expected to draw attendees from across the globe. Members, I want to assure you that I'm bringing the world to Kenya. Over 21 countries have already confirmed participation. And therefore, I'm looking forward to hosting all of us. And this is going to be led by the President of the World Federation of Engineering Organization, Engineer Mustafa Shehu. Also the President of the Federation of African Engineering Organization, Engineer Papas Kazawadi. And of course the President of the World Council of Civil Engineers. So members, we are really looking forward to this convention because it's going to give us a unique opportunity for engineers, architects, QSs, Kenyan, the Wanjiku, the suppliers. Everybody has a place in this convention. The policymakers, institutions from public and private sectors, and all key stakeholders, basically to discuss critical matters that affect these countries. Engineers and technical guys are going to give the framework within which every sector operates. And this is basically locally and globally. The government of Kenya is currently engaged in the implementation of the BETA. You're also aware that we are implementing the 4th medium term, which is 23-27. And with a focus on the 4 pillars of the agricultural transformation, inclusive growth, transforming micro and small enterprises, housing, delivering the affordable housing and settlement, of course, healthcare and digital superhighway. It is imperative that engineers and engineering technologists and technicians to speak in one voice as we engage government to achieve these goals. Chief guest, please allow me to highlight one area within the government agenda that is of particular interest to the engineers attending this convention. The government plan, of course, to develop at least 200 affordable housing units in each of the 290 constituencies in Kenya cannot just be left to the public sector. And it's incumbent that we, as engineers and architects, QSs, planners, surveyors, take up this gauntlet that has been laid. And we work together to provide the skills and the services that are needed by the government for us to be delivered on this particular agenda. We also look to the State Department of Roads to continue playing its critical role as a development enabler within this country. Chief Guest, it goes without saying that any development towards a better agenda will require universal accessibility across the country. One thing that IK prides itself in its development and mentorship, and to this end, this year IK convention has they adopt a graduate program. This aims to collect resources specifically for sponsoring young students, young graduate engineers to be able to showcase in this particular convention. And I want to continue to appeal to members who are present here, especially from the corporate world, to assist us achieve and deliver on this particular mandate. Because these people are the future leaders and we want them to start leading today. Chief Guest, it's our great honor as IK to host this year's International Engineering Convention at PIDIN. And we'll be happy to host you. Of course, we know when we request for the Chief Guest, where we are looking forward to having His Excellency, you are going to ensure that that happens the way it did happen in Naivasha. And we are happy that that will be delivered. To our IK 30th Annual International Convention partners and stakeholders, I want to assure you that you have made the right decision to work and participate with us in this great convention. The convention will present a valuable opportunity for yourselves to interact with the influencers, decision makers, researchers, innovators, policy makers, and the much needed uniform platform to share knowledge, to create the much needed opportunities to advance engineering services. And it's not just about paper presentation and listening to panel discussion. It's also a time for you to have some time off busy schedule. We've been working for the last 12 months, and therefore we are offering you opportunity to be able to interact, and more importantly, to enjoy the green and the clean beaches of Mombasa. So you can't afford to miss this as we have this discussion. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, let us please rise up as you join me in welcoming our chief guest, Engineer Joseph Mbogwa, who is our Principal Secretary in charge of roads, to give his keynote address. Welcome, Bwana PS.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Reading from what our elder, Engineer Mwongera, did, I can assure you that whenever you go to preach in a place, you have to talk about those who have accompanied you. Yes. Is it not so? Yes. The first one is to bring the greetings of our Cabinet Secretary, whom I'm representing this morning. We have had a very long and tough weekend in the coast, and we are winding up the activities today. I had to fly in the evening with the last plane so that I can be here because I was threatened by two tough ladies and the power of women. I'm supposed to be also in Parliament answering questions on the budget, but the two ladies, Engineer Ugai and Engineer Kawondo, also gave me huge threats that made me now reschedule my presentation to a later hour so that I can attend this auspicious launch. But I'm grateful for the push that they gave. That is the power of women. I'm sure in this room I have those affiliated with my State Department. Can they be upstanding? All those affiliated. Our chairman, EBK, is forgetting that. Oh, he's sweeping the ship. So I'm very grateful. Those are that's members of my family, and you may be seated. So when I'm talking, I have the power that allows me to do so. So, like I have said, receive the greetings of my cabinet secretary, who would have been here this morning also as a guest. We had huge engagement. But whenever he goes out, thanks people for what they did for him. So even me, when I'm standing here, I also want to thank the EBK and IEK for doing what they did in October and November. So thank you so much. The president of IEK, Eric Ohaga, EBK chair, Engineer Mwongera, EBK registrar, Engineer Ogai, ASEC Council Chair, Patrick Wambura. We have also in our midst the various members of other boards, the chair and council members of ASEC, President AAK, CEO from State K, CEO from state corporations who are with us this morning, the FIDIC Vice Chairperson, Engineer Mwangi. You know, when you look, I was looking at who has many badges in this. And I think our president is also threatened by the number of badges we will sit on. IEK council members, IEK partners and stakeholders, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished guests present this morning, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be part of this occasion as the institution launches the 30th IEK International Convention that is scheduled to be held at the coastal city of Mombasa from 14th to 17th November 2023. This is an event that will bring local and international voices together and to chart a way forward as we engineer a new world in the era of rapidly changing operating environment. Engineering involves the art and science of harnessing the resources of nature for the benefit of society, and as such, no point can delink engineering from any aspect of everyday living. Indeed, it is through engineering that the world has been transformed by innovations in energy supply, industrialization, development of critical infrastructure. Engineering professionals, therefore, play an integral role in shaping our interaction with the world. The decisions that engineers make on a day-to-day basis have a range of environmental, social, and economic impact. The construction of buildings, for example, consumes natural resources outside of the boundaries of what happens on site, including the energy, water, raw materials that go into the manufacturing of the construction materials. It is therefore imperative that engineers and related professionals continuously engage and caucus through the scientific congresses such as the upcoming convention to exchange ideas and knowledge towards sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, the technological changes in the engineering landscape and the accelerated adoption to artificial intelligence technology by different sectors in one area that is one area that we cannot fail to take note of as a country. Technological advancement has changed the way humans communicate, interact, and work. Kenya needs to adapt this rapid technological advancement to find solutions to some of the presenting issues the country faces, including food security, affordable housing, inadequate health care system, and advanced effect of climate change. This year's convention themed Engineering a New World, therefore, provides a platform for dialogue on the ever-changing and emerging aspect of engineering with a focus on leveraging on technology to accelerate the transformation of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, the convention will also provide an opportunity for a discourse on the place and opportunities for Kenyan professionals in the region, the continent, and the world. Kenya subscribes to various global intercontinental development commitments such as SDGs, African Agenda 2063, East African Community EAC, Protocols COP26 Agreement, and African Continental Free Trade Agreement ACFTA. Engineers are at the center of designing and implementing these development goals, which in our country have been crystallized with the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the BETTER. With the hosting of the 18th World Council for Civil Engineering General Assembly during the convention, the profile of Kenya engineer will certainly be elevated. In conclusion, the State Department will continue to work together with key sector players to ensure that we collectively put in place measures that will help mitigate the emerging issues in the engineering sector. I wish to assure you all that the government through the ministry is committed to supporting the implementation of the proposed strategies that will come out as a resolution from this convention, and that we will ensure all engineers and other professionals are globally competitive. I thank the IEK President, Council members, and all stakeholders for the effort being made towards making this convention a success. I urge all sector players to support and attend the 30th IEK International Convention, follow through the discussions, and be part of change that we want to see in Kenya. It is now my humble pleasure and duty to launch the 30th IEK media campaign, officially launched. Lastly, I hope to see you all in Mombasa. Thank you.
Can we have the launch video please playing? I am told that it will play in a little while. I'm sorry about that. So we will be seated. Yeah, thank you so much. But I have it here. I don't know why it is not playing. So I think I'm taken a bit by surprise by that. But nonetheless, I think we can now move on to our program. We have now the photo session to be led by the PS and the president, the EBK board, chairman, and the CEO. Please be upstanding so that we can take the photo session.
So our cameras, please. As we are taking the photo. So next, I'll ask our chair, media and publicity, please join. And as we're taking this, please, IEK council members, please be ready so that we join. So IEK council members, tafadhali. IK Council members, and also the President ASEC, IQSK, AAK, tafadhali join. I think we need one or two seats. I don't know if you're able to get the full frame, or if we need to have a few people sit down. Yeah.
Those over 60.
Chief guest, karibu, President IK.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's have the C. So let's have the various CEOs who are here. And also, I know we have the council members who are present as well. So cameraman, you'll tell me if they're in the frame, everyone is on the someone sat on that side. Okay, so lastly, chief guest, you'll indulge me. We also want to show engineers have a bit of fun and energy. So we'll do something nice and say, welcome to the convention. Yes, so I don't know if you want me to count you in, or the excitement is there. Okay, I can count you in. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the convention.
Perfect. So thank you very much. As we continue the program, all our partners, just a reminder that we'll also be taking videos for the media. So please do make sure you hang around. And I'll hand over back to our MC.
I think the video is being played now. State Department of Roads. State Department of Roads are being invited to come and take a photo with the chief guest. All members of State Department of Roads, and I saw you are a very big family. I want to insert myself there.
So we have Anna here as well. Kura, present.
Yes.
And NTSA, I know NTSA is present. I hope they're here. Perfect. Perfect. And we also welcome to the convention. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the convention.
Okay, so our chief guest, I'm told the video is now ready, the one that you launched. So let us have it playing. One countdown and 1.
It's bigger and better with over 4,000 delegates expected. From the 14th to the 17th November 2023 at Riding Paradise Resort Mombasa. Register, attend, learn, and network.
See you there. Let us be there and have a good convention.
See you there.
You can't afford to miss this.
See you there.
See you in Mombasa.
You can't afford to. You can't afford to miss it. So, I think as you, we had to really make sure that you spoke to all the guests and everyone else. So allow me now to take on my substantive role to appreciate the sponsors, some of the sponsors who we had not acknowledged, so that they can be part of this particular event. So I want to just make my presentation, which was supposed to be for positioning of. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, chief guests, distinguished guests, our media partners who are here, and I want to recognize all of them who are here. We have KBC, thank you very much. We have Citizen, we have KTN, we have got the K24, we have Capital, we have Standard, and we have also the staff. Thank you very much for being our partners in this particular media launch. We continue to appreciate you, and we do pray and request you also to cover our event that is coming up next week, or from 14th to 17th of November. Please be there, and we shall journey together in engineering a new world. I'm honored to stand before you today as a colleague and president of Engineers of Kenya. It's such a privilege to address such a diverse group of individuals. And I want to, on behalf of IEK, to express my heartfelt appreciation to our sponsors, who are going to be appreciated by our second VP, our training partners from the construction space, our energy sectors, among the many others that you have heard this morning. Today we find ourselves at a crucial juncture in history, where the interplay of the bankers are really something that we have to think about and require solutions to ensure industry Kenya. This convention is key to bringing the great minds together. To appreciate that the convention contributions so much. Thank you so much. I wish to express sincere gratitude for your support and my personal appreciation for friendships and networks built over the years. So I want to just mention in addition to the following: Kenha, who are board right at the back. We have got NC also us here. The CEO is a word Kara, through the engineer Philmon Kandie. We want to be already power lighting who are engineers board of partners all through the journeys from the beginning to the end, and we shall forever be partners. I think I did at the beginning, but I want to appreciate in a very special way, because the parent of all the engineers here is our appreciation. I think to mention, to highlight the Ministry of Roads and Transport, also other ministries who host a lot of engineers: Ministry of Lands, Public Works and Housing, the Ministry of Water, Irrigation and Sanitation, Ministry of Water and Ministry of and many other government ministries who partner with us over the years. So I just want to quickly through the others. We've got REREC, we have BC, we have Kura, we have got mentioned here, we have Nupea, we have Ketraco, we have Kengen, and we have Kenya Pipeline Company. I all of them, but they know themselves, and their banners are here. We can see the logos on the screen. So I think we really want to appreciate you, and please, we're looking forward to networking and enjoying next week in the convention. So I think that is what I really wanted to mention, as I want perhaps if there's any question from the media, we can take it now. Do you have any questions from the media? Okay. So I'm advised that we are going to set up now for for a media with the citizen. They want to engage our peer, our chief guest. So I think I'll allow you to just have that particular engagement with the media. Our CEO will guide on that particular process. I don't know whether they're going to do it here or elsewhere, but please, if citizens are in the room, kindly come and advise. Citizen, you want to do it here?